up, everybody? Macheroni, Awe, Sanbonani, Molweni, to everybody across the globe. My name is Sia the Kivstar, and as always, I'm flying with my co-pilot.
Bubula fam bafethu sithini lapho emfethu eShazini sinakwaZanian sunrise bafethu simnandi kanjani sibone easy nawa guest bethu at the background was supposed to clap and say the Azanian sunrise, but it's our people. It's late, but it's always late, but they always get there. Yeah, so no, but this is a beautiful podcast that we have opened in Ninja Zami. All of us are interested in that narrative. It's for basically a pan-Africanism podcast that's going to delve into our culture, the history of it, and where it's going to and what's currently happening. So in the podcast, we'll be having a lot of discussion. We'll have more guests as well. As from the start of it, right, we had a very good interview last week. At the South African Music Podcast.
Yeah.
Just tell them more about it.
Yeah, so we were out at the South African Podcast and Music Festival, which was held at Emperor's Palace. Shout out to all the podcasters who are out there to give us young guys, some direction on our path. And shout out to the likes of Gareth Cliff, DJ Swoo. A major shout out to the lady who plugged us and invited us to be exhibitionists also at the podcast. Sisbuyelwa, much appreciated, Siswami, and thank you for helping us through our teething times.
Goddamn teething times. No, but then now look for the way we started, we felt that we need to keep the momentum going, and hence why making sure that we'll come and give you episodes every week. One week I started my feature. And today, yes, we had a nice story to tell me about this chick. Went to a funeral with the short skirt. I know we're talking about it earlier on, so
yeah.
I'm really interested to hear about the short skirt.
Yeah, man. So it came to my attention. There's this post that has been doing the rounds on social media. So this particular one lady attended a funeral, and everybody was judging her because of what she was wearing, because of her attire at the funeral. And she was wearing a very short skirt. Yeah. And the short skirt, it's not just, a normal, average short skirt. No. It's scooter, and it's hugging her buttocks. And she's got, obviously, the body to complement that particular outfit, so taking nothing away from her. But she had very protruding buttocks. Right?
You guys must get dictionaries out. If you don't know protruding, please do yourself a favor. Go get yourself Google search, something. Sometimes you have to pronounce it because you can't type it, you can't type. Spain has so Uba was give us a lot of protruding words.
so in case everyone wants to see exactly the picture.
Let me see first, and I'm here with you. Yeah. So there's gonna more fucking boots.
She's very fucking boots.
This one, she's showing you a profession. As a profession.
So this is what I said. So the person who posted this said, I don't know this person and saw the picture shared on this platform. Ladies, you look good at Taboo nightclub and make a good candidate for Cheeky Tiger in this outfit. For those who don't know, guys, Cheeky Tiger is a gentleman's club. I'm not entirely sure about other provinces, but here in Joburg, it's pretty much a franchise. You'll find it scattered in and around Joburg City.
Remember that guy who made us up on it?
Yeah. Cheeky Tiger. Cheeky Tiger. Cheeky Tiger.
No promotion, Cheeky Tiger.
Hey, now you're exposing our days on the road. We used to have a road kill. Alright, so as we were saying, good candidate for Cheeky Tiger in this outfit, not for a funeral. Oddly enough, those dignified ladies at the back are dressed for the occasion. You wouldn't make it past the cemetery gate in rural areas with that outfit. It matters how you dress for a funeral because you must respect the dead. Even when you pay homage and communicate with ancestors, there's decorum pertaining to dress code. This is nonsensical.
I'm telling you, protruding. Eat your decorum, what's decorum? You tell me what's decorum. Be quiet, talk. I wonder what do you think it is? I told you, ladies and gentlemen, take out the dictionaries right now. I'm not going to come to me. No, but look, going back to this thing, this chick, I feel like It's because of the culture. Our culture is very perverse, it's very chance. The shortest thing or the most controversial thing that you want to do is what people are competing on nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm sure sister is still to herself. I'll be seeing a lot of pretty women dressed in formal clothing or hot. I need the attention of me, I need a man. And also, she could be trying to beg a man at a funeral. And is it an old person or a young person's funeral?
That's the thing. We're not sure with regards to the person who is being buried, whether it's an old person or it's a young person. Of course, I mean, if, let's say, this person that is being buried is a young person who was a groovist, who lived a particular type of lifestyle, maybe then it would be more acceptable, because chances are there'd probably be much more girls as well in similar type of dress codes. I've seen it a lot at funerals as well.
Yeah, but like when you do like a clever.
Yes.
Spelling.
Yeah. Tikwi moto, 21 gun salute, all those things. If it is clever or sekasi, then you'd understand. But then, if if it's someone's granddad being buried, then it's totally unacceptable.
Side note: Have you ever seen how, going back to the gangsterism funeral, how the mothers or the family would speak? You were such an angel. And then when you see the nigga on the street, you're like, an angel? Are you serious?
It's this thing of respecting the dead. People always speak well of the dead, but topic for another day.
Yeah, no, the sister it was out of question, because for me it's just like you say, like in and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ladies like that, they kill someone who was of a matured nature, not a child or a good child.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be so many of them like in the background.
Sure.
And my sister is very disrespectful. Because number one, I'm a hot man, I won't be sure what we ever we must say look. because as a bishop, wearing your deacon or what, when she walks past, where are you looking? When I tell her, where are you going to be looking? If she has to walk past, you need to go put flowers on there. The moment of silence, that's when it's there. Oh, Pastor, that's what you're fasting. Wash your. Hey, wash your. Hey, hallelujah.
Hey, God bless you. I mean, God bless you.
Her short skirt is very disrespectful, because at all levels, it costs about months, costing marriages. It's tough. It's tough. And let's say how, so what some of the comments is someone supporting them. Why but we love this controversial shit.
Surprisingly enough, when I look through the comments, and there's now currently 140 comments on this post, not a single person is actually condoning this young lady's attire or behavior.
Sure.
Some of the comments that we have here, one person commented and said, as much as things change, some things should remain constant in our lives. Ubuntu, respect, and morality should always remain constant. And I guess that makes a lot of sense, because if you consider traditionally and culturally, according to Ubuntu, how someone should dress for a funeral, ladies are usually not allowed to wear a skirt or a dress that is above the knees. It should be below the knees. That is considered dignified. And then also, they are required most times to wrap their heads, to keep their heads covered. What the logic is behind that, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe you have some more insight.
No, but the thing is, it just makes sense. Why do you need to be thinking about sex when you're trying to born? Because look, the mind will what you see, your mind is going to take in and make information out of it. Even if it's for a split second, all niggas know this, man knows this. You can now be crying and you see your short skirt. Your mind for that second is stopping about them. Stop moaning. God damn, but then you go back to it. So I feel like you're not supposed to be thinking of anything else but the moaning. So you can actually go through the process. You can heal. There shouldn't be any distractions from the healing, because if you're in a rush for healing by just going back to life as it is, you may now become you get drunk, you jump on tables, kicking people. So in morning time you need to do it, because it's very tragic to everyone's feelings. It was close to the deceased. Oh, I also know the deceased.
Yeah.
It's very powerful to them, because it's like fucked up. When you're feeling a short scared, I'm trying to advise you. Or really you think you're killing me now, my pain, get drunk and just jive. And then it goes back to the topic you must go to the jive culture. We're going to that, maybe you can have some comments.
Yeah, just a couple of more comments here. And this one stuck out for me. This person says, Respecting the dead is not universal. Respecting the dead is universal. It's not even just a cultural thing. Everyone who dresses inappropriately at a funeral just looks sad and desperate for attention.
I just said. I guess.
And the part where they're desperate for attention, because as a lady, that's all that you're gonna get is attention. Is it the right kind of attention? No, I don't think so.
But it's a recent funeral, right?
Yes.
I'm thinking to myself, when she woke up in the morning, did the short skirt, like the cold wind, inspire the short skirt? Did it inspire her? It's on coverage. I mean, really? The fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Because it goes back to again in tribal culture. She was dressed for the after party, for the after tears, not for the funeral. To be honest, guys, she was dressed for the after tears. Let's not maybe judge her. Maybe she knew I'm going to the after tears. But then going back to tribal culture, we need to speak about that though, because I think it does kill a lot of people in Zanzibar. It has been killing since the 80s, since the Nkatabubi and all of that. Because you see how many taverns are full in the cars. It's a lot of fucking taverns, right? And when I go back down, I'm feeling coming. Sure. Then I check the album.
Yeah.
Shout out. But hey, man, that song is very painful. So it goes back to tribal culture. It is killing our society. How you see it? Do you think it's killing, or is it maybe making money for the entrepreneurs within tribal culture, like the DJs and
yeah. You see, groove culture is tricky. For me, I feel like South African youth in general, I feel like we're still in the after party celebrating democracy. Where literally we are living for groove. And it's okay. I mean, it's okay. I understand if you, well within your youth, you maybe in your 20s, fresh out of school, you're discovering yourself and you've got your social life is basically at its prime. I can completely understand you attending groove and stuff. But now it gets to a point where it's even also contributing towards breaking the family dynamic and family unity. For instance, if you are a 40-year-old man and you are grooving every weekend, who's at home with your wife? Who's raising your son?
No, but you see, it goes back to me disagreeing with the fact that if you are young and you're doing it, it's fine. Look, bro, when you're young, I feel like it's wrong for us to say live your life carefully. It's a time because you have all the energy, the mind, the waking up early at 6 o'clock, like nothing. You have all of that. Yeah. I think it's the time you should be working hard, getting your shit together, so that in your 30s towards 40, you are now living the relaxed lifestyle where you are able to now be able to raise a family in the right mindset. Because I think some tribal culture kills us, and we like you say, we live in the after party. Yeah. That's where most things are living.
No, South African blacks, guys, to be honest, it's like we've been in a never-ending after party celebrating freedom ever since 1994.
Do you know?
And this groove culture, it started even with our uncles, our aunts, our older brothers and sisters. They've been in that mode of celebrating. It's like as a generation, it carried on to the next generation, and us as a race of people just never snapped out.
You know that I saw a thing on TikTok. South Africa is the third most buyer of Hennessy. Came out last week.
Wow.
In the world. In the world. The third.
And that's understandable. Of Hennessy? Wow. Wow. That's understandable.
But you know that
there's this stigma that comes with it, or this image that comes with drinking Hennessy. And then I saw another one as well. Okay. Alright. What's happening? And I also saw another statistic also that was posted on something. What's going on? Okay. Had to be a whole thing. Yeah, I mean, look, I saw another post as well where it said South African women are considered number 2 in the world in terms of heavy drinkers.
You serious? That's fucking funny.
Number 2.
But you know, it makes sense.
Only surpassed by Irish women.
Bro! Damn. That's heavy. Number 2 in the world, bro.
Number 2.
Are you sure this is number 2?
I've personally dated women who can drink me under the table.
That's true.
I've dated women who can drink me under the table now. Hey, South African girls can drink, yo.
So what do you think the thing, are they numbing pain or what's happening? Because for me, for someone to be at that level of like intoxication, we also know from our friends and all of these things that do that, like when they're intoxicated, they're more happy than when they're sober. And for me, it's quite tough because I rather deal with your issues, bro, than numbing them. Or maybe it's just me thinking of it because I'm a guy and I'm out of the situation. I wouldn't know what she's gone through. I'm sorry, because there's many factors to make someone to do that.
I don't know, I just think South Africa as a whole, there's a huge problem with alcoholism. Alcoholism is so accepted and it's so condoned and it's okay. And our entire society accepts it. Even our law enforcement, they even on board with it. They know if they stop me and I've had drinks, I can't drink, they let me go on. It's widely and generally condoned.
Did you guys know that Cape Town is the drinking capital of South Africa?
Gaftat now! Gaftat 9! Away of 100,000. Can you imagine that?
I wouldn't be surprised as well.
Maybe because of the wine yards?
Maybe Cape Town as a city as a whole, but I believe Soweto is the capital.
I know, because you were the man who got your shower.
Every occasion needs a cooler box, and the drinking, it's excessive.
It's excessive.
You go to the bar, there's no drinking 1 round each, no. Buy the whole 24 now, and 2 bottles, and champagne, and you sort it.
Yeah, but it shows that maybe as a country, as a nation, there's a lot of pains and issues and trauma that we are hiding. So that's why they just dive into alcoholism and don't care about mental health. I heard there was mental health for guys this month.
Yeah. Mental health because of...
I didn't know that. I just see it on the side.
Yeah, this month was mental health month, but look how cheated of that we were.
Yes.
I mean,
there was
August, we all know it's Women's Month. It's just Women's Month, no other month. Our month, Mental Health Month for men, we're also sharing it with Youth Month.
And Pride Month.
And
Pride Month.
And Pride Month
Yes.
as well.
It's Pride Month.
You see,
It was purposely done, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers, this how they make be, you motherfuckers. They made Pride Month fucking men's month. What should I must see, man? And I don't know, look, guys. I've got friends of the Rainbow Nation, right? Of the Rainbow Nazi. You know us as a Rainbow Nazi. It's fine. But for me, I don't like how it's pushed down my throat. Understand? I don't see me pushing down my costliness to anyone. And so I'm closer for myself. And so I can't be closer for everyone here. And so like you must click your tongue every time you talk to me. No, bro. You can speak a common language. I'm sort of Zulu, Abshino, you call me the shish. Like the whole way shish. But anyway, for me, that revelation, because I heard Ramaphosa signed the bill with that dead president from America, Biden.
Joe Biden.
The
The robot's clone.
Is he dead walking? He's dead man walking. The fuck is going on?
I recently saw a video of someone take off a Biden mask, but I swear to God, before he took it off, it literally looked like him. Have you seen speeches of him where he doesn't even blink?
Not at all.
It's like he's not blinking or breathing. It's just like...
Yeah, going back to that point, he signed the bill that they're going to start sexual education for kids, teaching them about non-binary and binary and LGBT and all that shit from the ages of primary to high school. Now, you tell me, instead of them implementing like maybe a music program for kids, that's what they want to implement gayism to young kids. What the fuck is that?
You see, you need to understand that there's always an agenda. And how you know that there's an agenda is when it is, like you said, shoved down your throat through platforms, and which is their most powerful tool, which is platforms of media. Nowadays, you never watch a series and see a series without a gay couple.
It's true.
All right. So, and then now it's also now transformed into zombies. I mean, it started with Senzo and Jason.
Oh, I didn't know Senzo and Jason. God damn.
I'll take me
That
back
was the most
one
disgusting.
generation.
Even in the most gangster shit. El Chapo.
On
El Chapo.
He's as well. Remember Hizo?
Yeah.
That fucked me up, guys.
So
From kicking a kick to be like crying like that.
no, that was good. It was good. That scene was necessary. Yiso, that scene scared a lot of us away from being criminals.
Scared me a full on. I was like,
It scared us away from being criminals because you thought in your mind that if I go to crime and I get arrested and I go to jail, shit.
Papa action.
What if that happens to me?
it's not randomly Papa
Action. But getting back to that agenda, the agenda that's being pushed, how I see it, it's population control. It is the ideal way to achieve population control. Population control is it's one of the top priorities of the United Nations. The top priority is Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, WHO, all of these people, their top agenda is population control.
Yeah, bro. Look, speaking about that, we don't want to get killed in this South up in here. Listen, we will call them other names. Those names I just said, you better scratch that shit out. The powers that may be want population control. We're gonna die, bro. We live in African elders. Come on. I mean, look at this. It can bomb us right now. A little joke and just go, we got the top of sex.
They're being drunk.
This is too more for us. Let's drop a nuke. I understand. We don't want that shit, guys. We all peace up in here. Just empowering people's minds. Now get this. Now, here's a question for the audience behind. I see the video on their phones. Being antisocial, why are you being social? Do you believe the earth is round or flat?
Flat.
When?
Flat. We live in a dome.
When?
Flat.
When?
We live in a dome. It's flat.
I believe it's round.
What is that?
I believe it's round.
What do you think?
I believe it's round. Red Bull just released a video of a guy jumping. Yeah.
Bungee jump, skydiving.
And you could see from there, you could see the curve.
What?
No, don't. You must check it out.
Bruh,
CGI.
let me tell you, I was a firm believer of the earth is round. I used to do history in primary school. I did the whole Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong, that whole bullshit. I learned, I knew everything. The whole fucking motherfucker, the whole thing that went in, whatever, right? Years later, I checked, like on Google and then YouTube. There's not been one interview where Neil Armstrong says, I've been on the moon. He never admitted. I researched it because I done the history at school, right? And this is why school is fucked up, right? School is very fucked up, teaching us about things that we can't use. Anyway, we're going to delve into that as well, about education and how it indoctrinates people and how we think. So, I then did now further research now. All the fucking clips of people on the moon, it's wires. You understand? They're all on wires. And the landing, whatever thingamajig that landed on the moon, the rover system, whatever, it's made from bungee cord and tires from wheeler, like these 14 wheelers. Huh? There was duct tape on the that shit that landed in there, the shuttle from the rocket. And again, the creator of NASA, which is that guy, what's his name, Van Bronk or something like that, from the paperclip from Germany, or X-Nights or whatever. On his tombstone, he has Psalms 91, which speaks about a firmament.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which speaks about a firmament, and it's a verse in the Bible verse that says that. He puts that on his tombstone, and he's the founder and creator of NASA. Wow, I mean, he could have put so many things on his tombstone, so many things. His best friend, Walt Disney, his emblem of that Walt Disney has that firecracker goes around like that, like the firmament. Do you understand? And we were taught that the earth is round. Why? It's all fucking lies. They say they can't go to the moon again today because all the technology is lost. And I love this example, by the way, guys. I love this example. That president, when they went to the moon, was it Nixon? Nixon? Was it Ronald Nixon, right? He called them from a landline at the White Office and got them on the moon.
Before the creation of cell phones.
And we still have bad network right now. We still have bad
moon landing is the greatest film production set. But it was so
A big
sloppy. It was very, very sloppy. And people in those days didn't even question it. They just blindly believed it. But it's so obviously fake, man. I saw a clip recently where this man approaches Neil Armstrong, and they're at some convention, NASA convention, and he goes to Neil Armstrong with a Bible. He says, "Sir, Neil Armstrong, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Can you do me a favor, please, sir? I don't want an autograph. I don't want a picture with you or anything. Can you please place your left hand on this Bible and say, you swear that you went to the moon. You swear on God that you went to the moon. Please, sir, can you please do that one thing for me?" Neil Armstrong refused to do it. He point blank refused to do it.
And for me, it's the reason why they make movies the way they make them, so that we believe whatever they tell us. America is one of the biggest fire powers in the world, whatever. I always counteract that argument with this. The most powerful people I fear in the world are Chinese and Russians. There's a Chinatown in every country, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a Chinatown, right? If they decide to bomb the world, they are able to do it.
Easy.
America, China, but fine. There's no little America in China. Oh, please, motherfucker, please. Watch out, you're out right there now. There's no little America in any country. So, okay, South Africa is becoming little America because of the way we're so perverse. Trucking is becoming a dance. I'm so like, I don't get it. But anyway, I hate how they made movies to scare the world, like they the boogeyman. Ooh, don't fuck you up. Putin bombed Ukraine and said, nigga, so let me bomb it, and what are you gonna say? He bombed the motherfucker in the airport. Goosh. No one did nothing. He looked at the mosquito guys, I did it. So then,
of course, I mean, Hollywood is America's biggest propaganda machine. Their biggest propaganda machine is Hollywood. That's why they invest so heavily in the production of films. They invest heavily in the production of films in order to be able to brainwash the world at large for whatever agenda that they have at that given point in time. And then they plant things, ideas into your mind years in advance before it actually happens, so that when it does happen, your mind is already conditioned to accept
and accept it immediately.
I mean, look at this COVID pandemic that we came from, right? There was a movie that was released in 2011 that had the exact same script as COVID.
I remember the movie. It came from the same city. The code came from.
Exactly. What was a movie called Contagion?
Yeah,
Contagion, yes.
Yeah. The exact same script, the exact same kind of illness, the exact same solutions with the mask, quarantine. Hence, when they drop those phrases, oh, we need to go into quarantine.
And a shock to you.
It wasn't a shock. People immediately knew, and that's what that means. This is what we have to do because already you've been programmed. And this is why this thing is called a TV program.
Tell a vision.
You're telling a vision to program a mind. So you tell a vision to program society.
And you know, coming back to Mzansi, it's so sad that Mzansi going now to the media industry, whatever, because we've been in it, right? All of the people that we have here, most of them died poor, broke, because the so-called gatekeepers in the music industry, and they don't put enough money, guys. We've done stages ourselves. We had to do it ourselves. You motherfuckers were scared to go on here and talk. I risked no goddamn life. There's no insurance. There's no insurance there. So I'd go on top there and put lights on.
Learn as you go.
Then they'd fall down like that. And so on. There was no one else to do it. But we had to do it because we needed a show to go on. So I'm thinking that if they had enough money, if they put enough money, the industry would have been much bigger, and many people would have been able to have like proper, like, what should I say, jobs to like feed their families, because most artists, they live hand to mouth.
There's a lot of money.
Gig I6, that 6 gigs is my money for my car, my what, then my money is finished.
But there's a lot of money
for the next gig.
There's a lot of money in entertainment and in the media industry in South Africa. The problem is the greed.
Yeah.
The problem is the greed. The people on top want to keep the money to themselves.
White people.
And that prevents the industry from growing. I mean, we have Universal records here with Universal Music. We have Sony. We have all these huge, gigantic record labels and media companies based here in South Africa.
Viacom.
We have Viacom, you know, and they're all based here in South Africa, even if they are based here to feed an entire African market. I mean, South Africa, basically, in terms of broadcasting to the African continent, is the equivalent of Hollywood to the world. The entire continent looks towards South Africa in terms of entertainment.
And it's some of them are, they don't want to admit it, but you know, my good, who the song?
Nigerians are always in competition with South Africans because they know we're the only ones who are probably as great as them.
Yes, for sure, just to go shorter. Speaking about that, shout out to Manda N. People often do studio.
Oh yeah!
You can. Manda N up in Manda Demand. He can create a whole movie on his own set now.
Yeah.
He did equivalent to what Tyler Perry did.
Yeah.
Yes, similar to that. So for me, when I saw that New Cook was posting on his story, I was like, damn, it's fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know, I felt so proud because actually I didn't view it.
It's a man that we've worked with before. He's mentored us in so many ways. He's helped us in so many ways. Back then when we used to host hip hop sessions, very, very good guy. Shilling. Just here from Pimville. So you know, Black Child, it's possible.
Yeah, I know. And you see, those stories don't get publicized. What they publicize is the voting shit and Zuma and Ramaphosa. They'll never publicize something like that because it was supposed to be publicized and given like an honorary.
And it should have been celebrated.
Because the black man own your own studio.
Yeah, sure.
Please point me to one. There's not many.
No.
Let alone him alone. But then what they'll do with media, getting onto fucking media, they'll first populate with shit. So that we stay thinking about shit. It's fucked up, Joe. Because when I saw it, I was like, wow, man, actually, I've been bruised out.
Yeah, that's major. That's major. Big ups to Man and Demand. I hope one day we'll be able to have him here. We'll be privileged enough to have him here so he can share some knowledge and, you know, drop some keys on us as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And another thing as well, speaking of media, staying there, you know, this media industry is just so much to talk about. I saw recently that Napster is the company that owns MultiChoice. So Napster is being bought over by a French media conglomerate. Alright? So this French media conglomerate is the same media conglomerate that owns a lot of media companies and broadcasting companies in and around Central and West Africa. French-speaking nations. So they're a huge company. I just can't recall the name of the company.
No, it's fine.
But the reason why is that
do they know us? Do they know us? Right? You know us, must know us.
The reason why Napster is being bought over by this company is because for the past 5 years they've recorded losses.
That's why we want to fund down. Why are you paying fund down?
I will fund down plays on DSTV.
Hey dog, I'm telling you, Steven's got guys, I've got DSTV. He's still playing. Fund down. Who Tombo? Who knows? Do you know Tombo 2000?
I was telling her she was cracking her neck earlier on. I'm like, okay, Bolo.
Hey, I'm telling you, I mean, look, how? And you pay motherfuckers subscription every month for Tombo.
Bloodsport.
No.
I'm
The fuck? When I saw Steven's guy, I had to pay me, I can really call. I was like, the fuck are we doing? We put them now. Channels before.
No, I haven't had DSTV for years.
It is just poor management and disgusting and
I stopped
customer.
subscribing to that shit years ago because I saw this thing is useless.
How many movies are out since Van Damme? Guys, they tell me they couldn't got them like maybe the 2018 year. Come on, 2018.
That's a point in this.
Fucking Van Damme, 1993. God damn, so they just tasted freedom. They bring a movie when you just tasted the freedom. Freedom.
A movie that was launched on VHS.
Oh, wait for it never just played like a disc.
When you rewind it.
So wait for it, motherfucker. When you fucked up and went too far, you must rewind for everyone. Maybe your friend came in there. I'm just rewinding away in a month. You playing that? How are they playing it today? They're in the fucking system there. What system are they? Are still using VHS?
So for the past 5 years, they have been recording losses. And these are not like small losses. These are losses in the billions. Alright? They've been losing subscribers left, right, and center for the past 5 years. Practically, now the rates that they are going at, they are headed towards bankruptcy.
Do you know why?
Right? But I'm okay with it. Before, I'm okay with that. Because Napsters is the very same country that was one of the biggest funders of the apartheid regime.
Yes.
Okay, so Napster, motherfuckers, this is just your karma. This is our dead grandmothers and grandfathers that your apartheid regime fucking killed, who came back for you motherfuckers and said, y'all don't deserve to eat this much. It's done now, it's a wrap, on to better things.
Add to that, have you noticed, guys, when the Shek community starts, how many of them have dishes?
Everybody has a dish.
You know why? There's a trick. The guys
No, they're preaching it.
Yeah, there's a preach. So like you say to your point of ancestors, the very same people they fucked over, it's the very same people that's fucking them over. A Shek community starts today, buddy. Eat dish, have a tar. This the first thing you see the dish, bitch. They ain't fucking around with an alien. I can live in a place where there's holes and rains, but my dish
You can preach it from your next door neighbor.
No,
There's uncles. All we need, man, is one person in this whole street to have a legitimate subscription that they pay for, and all of us can subscribe, and all of us can be linked up to. It's been preached.
And then they say that you can't run this country. People are preaching stuff right now. Which was a she's preaching. She's cool.
No, South Africa, we're one of the most talented countries when it comes to preaching, cut and join, things like that. I'm telling you, if they can go to South African prisons, companies, car manufacturing companies, come to South African prisons. All those car things that are there, they can put a GTI engine into a Golf 1. You'll find them there.
Come on.
I'm telling you,
ingenuity.
We should have had at least 5 car brands that are uniquely South African,
Right.
and we could have found your engineers right here. Johannesburg Correctional Services, aka Sun City. Many engineers there.
Come on.
They can cut and joint and kokota now.
And pharmacists.
Huh? We could have had the greatest solutions in terms of medication. We've got pharmacists that can mix up and cook up drugs just here on a 2-plate stove. Yeah? So we should have had our own pharmaceutical companies even. Shouldn't be Pfizer and Adcock and all of these companies. We should have our own shit. We should be following the narrative of this book, Capitalist Liquor, where everything that we create is owned by us and we support one another and we have the financial or the economic web running within ourselves, but we're too dependent on the West.
The problem is this, and I actually heard it from a guy who was actually a thug. He says he went to China and was dealing with this Chinese guy. I think for drugs or whatever. And then this Chinese guy said to him, you know, you black man, I envy you. You're the coolest, you're the best. But one thing about black man, can never work together.
Yeah.
Which is a fact.
Yeah.
Around the world, black people who can't work together. We immediately walk in, I'm looking at your Nikes, I'm looking at your what?
Now you charge him
Yeah, I'm trying to, I don't think to myself, maybe this guy can give me my directions to where I'm going to. Maybe he can tell me a shop where I can buy clothes. And even how our money never lasts in our circles. Or it goes out to the next generation or the next, creed or other people. I'm buying by a buy, I'm buying by Chinatown, I'm buying by a Jew shop, Pick and Pay, or whatever.
You know why?
Shop, right? It's so fucked up, bro. You can't even organize crime.
We can't even have.
We can't be together, just in crime. We can't be together. So there'll be factions. Why the factions? We are one thing. Huh? Why are you Pedi section in Zulu section?
Yeah, we can't even have, like in most countries, especially in sectors of commerce, it's typical to have a mentorship system in place, right? And our Caucasians here in South Africa, they do this very well, where they have mentorship systems set in place. And this is again, it's going to go back to the distraction of groove culture. You see, what they do is a Saturday or Sunday morning, I'm going with my dad to the country club where he plays golf, where he meets up with his business associates, right? I'm gonna caddy for my dad and maybe knock a few holes with him. My father's business associates are gonna ask me what I'm doing with my life. I'm gonna tell them, no, I'm studying XYZ. I'm studying IT. Within those business associates, there's someone who has an IT company. He's going to take me and then he's going to mentor me and I'm going to be an apprentice. By the time I hit the age of 30, I would have had so much experience and knowledge that I've gained from these old farts that a guy who's black, who's on the same level as me, who I graduated with me, is miles behind me. Because why? He spends his weekends just at groove, drinking, chasing skirts. My weekends are spent being mentored, an apprenticeship. My school holidays, when I'm off from varsity, I'm volunteering and working wherever I can so that I can learn the ropes. Whereas the black counterpart, he's pissing his time away. Groove culture, girls. And this is why I say groove culture, it's such a huge distraction to the progress of our people.
It is big time. And like I was saying, to the point of it being leader and helping out artists, like the booking of them and it being an industry where jive always happens. That one. It does help them make the money, like the piano artists. Like they become big, they make the money, whatever. But the major distraction is killing us. It's killing us more than the benefit of it becoming an industry. Because piano is
that's why it's the most played genre of music in South Africa, because the powers that be know the effect that it has. Because music is spiritual. Music is spiritual. There's certain instruments and drums and sound frequencies that have a different psychological effect on someone's mind and a society at large. That's why you'll find certain religious groups, music is prohibited.
Poison.
And I don't know if you can confirm, music
is haram to
Islam,
us, yes.
It's haram. There's a reason why it is haram in the Muslim culture. It's because they know that it can literally have an entire society under a charm.
Dazed and confused.
I mean, and it's the perfect ideal tool to serve so many agendas. It can perpetuate the agenda of feminism.
Violence.
Violence, which links to black on black crime. Again, which also then links to the population control, which also links to keeping us on the back end economically. Then coming back to feminism, it breeds a culture of single women so it breaks down the family dynamic. So that young man grows up without a father, goes to the streets so that he can participate in that black on black violence. And then also it perpetuates club culture, so you can drink all your money and not invest it. So it's literally one tool that serves so many agendas. Music.
It does, because I mean, look at the drill rap. They can say two chains.
Drill culture.
I mean, how many orange should you charge? Every music video. Every music video. Pop, pop. I mean, that's the lyric.
Those are the artists that are going to get signed.
What did you say? I got a chopper in my car. Chopper, yeah, you pilot. That's China, the chopper. So now, guys, can we have questions from the crazy guys? Because they're crazy.
I've got a question going back to flat earth theory and how America is influencing the thoughts of the said entire world.
That's what Russell woke up with. Repeat that again.
Alright, back to the flat earth theory, alright? So flat earth theory, America has been now brainwashing everybody with regards to everything that's happening. How do you guys feel about the moon being manufactured, not being real?
You know, I haven't thought about that. But then the problem is this, what I believe or what I see is that it's got something to do with nature. So I believe it's there because
The moon is actually a manufactured thing.
Do you know that there's a theory? I'll
There's
take
even
you
2
to.
movies out about it.
I've seen that.
Muslim people wouldn't be following the moon.
Yeah.
That was fake.
It
I'll
goes
take.
naturally. But the Chinese are now busy creating their own sun.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the sun.
Okay, I know where she's coming from with this. Do you know that there's ancient cultures, specifically Kemetic culture?
Well, they came at what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told you. But truly, I told you. Truly, what I can't do. You can't want to say that.
there's many ancient cultures and tribes where they documented at a certain time in history there was no nighttime at all. There was no fucking
No
moon.
nighttime.
None. It was continuous bright daylight until
the sun's running away now.
until the sun itself as well is, but we'll get to that.
Hey, you can't say this. Photosynthesis won't happen without the sun.
No, we'll get to that.
Photosynthesis won't happen without the
Yeah,
sun.
we'll get to that.
Oh, you tell me the sun is
So
in China have a made up one, but hey.
so the moon, there was a time where there was no moon on Earth. And okay, I know there will be astrological
Now, how do you answer the nocturnal animals?
there'll be astrological reasons, and they'll say no, over time the sun the moon came closer to the earth and there's been recordings where people have shown pictures of different moons.
And the moon came
Literally 2 moons
sky.
at once in the sky, in one sky. There's been times where I've seen it on socials.
But bro, how would you explain nocturnal animals, bro? Like an owl, like a
Why do you think, okay, perfect, I love that you asked that question. Why do you think these animals howl at the moon? Animals have a sixth sense. They howl at the moon. Animals have a sixth sense for anything that is unnatural on this earth.
If there's going to be a tsunami, you see animals running up to a hill.
Exactly.
Naturally.
So animals have the sixth sense for anything that is paranormal, right? That is why when it is a full moon,
It's only the wolves been from Twilight.
wolves, no,
The bloody wolves from Twilight is just the bloody
dogs,
people.
and as much as it is manufactured, it has its own energy, on its own lunar energy.
Yeah, because some plants grow in the dark.
Lunar energy on its own can even affect the moods of society.
Yeah.
It can
Hence the
alter
full
mood.
moon being a day when people feel a lot.
Yes, it can alter the moods of an entire society. So that thing, it's a machine.